Whenever you're running out of ideas for your next article, it seems like a very easy solution to go with a list post. And you're right. However, there's something superficial, I would say, about most of the list posts out there today. And in this video, we'll talk about a few secrets that you need to know before writing a list post yourself. Hi, I'm David from Thrive Themes, and let's talk about these list posts because they do seem to be a very easy solution when running out of ideas for the next article on the blog, for example. But why do they seem to be such an easy solution? Well, there's three reasons for that. One, they're very quick to write, they're very quick to read, and they're also scannable, which means that you can go through an entire list post very easily. For these reasons, list posts are the most shareable articles on social media. However, many of these list posts are extremely shallow and they can end up being just a filler that nobody ever talks about. So here's what you need to keep in mind in order to avoid making the same mistakes. Number one, you need a great headline, because most of the people that read list posts are just looking for a quick solution to whatever problem they're battling with. So a basic post list headline is something like X ways to achieve or avoid something, right? Now this works, but a truly killer list post takes it a step further. For example, in this article, they could have gone with a simple 27 ways to crush writer's block. Instead, with just a clever word choice, they managed to spice up the headline from good to great. If you want to see more examples and new ways to improve your headlines, don't forget to check out the blog post below this video. Now, apart from a great headline, you're also going to need a compelling introduction, because as readers, before we start looking for a solution inside the list post, we actually want to see that the author truly understands our problem, right? And only then we can go ahead and check out the actual content of the list post. Now, for example, Matt Lemmings have managed to turn in this article something as, let's say, impersonal as WordPress SEO into something that we can all relate to, all thanks to a great introduction. Number three, organized points. So it is very important to organize your points in such a way that it will simply make them flow from one to another, right? Of course, there's no simple answer or clear way on how to do this, but there's also a natural order. For example, a way to order them is after their importance. So if one of the points is funnier or more surprising, just place it first. Another way, it could be by their timeline. So you can start off with something simple and then just ease into something more drastic or controversial. The point that I'm making is that you need to arrange your list, because this will make it much easier to read for your visitors. And this will get more and more people to share it on social media with their friends. Moving forward, it is very important to have useful and in-depth points, because there's a trend to have as many points as possible in your list post. But what is the point of having a big list, right, if you don't have enough information to back all those points up? And it is true that the readers are usually looking for a quick solution. They also want a detailed answer, right? They want a detailed solution to their problem. An article written by Authority Hacker shows us how to go deep on every point. So according to the article, first of all, you need to introduce your point. Then you need to give a simple solution, usually alongside an image or a previous case study or something like that. And last but not least, you need to give an action tip, right? What can your reader do after reading your list post? So the idea here is that you don't need to have a lot of points on your list, right? If you don't have enough information on one of the points, you can just leave it out, right? No problem. Now, moving forward, you need to have an easily scannable structure for your list, because the main idea behind the list post is that it is very easy to read. Many list posts place their points on different sliders or on different pages. You probably know what I'm talking about, right? Don't do this, because the last thing your visitor wants to see is his 10 points divided on many other pages, right? And he has to go looking around for that next button, and he has a hard time finding it, and it won't be a pleasant experience for him. So for best scannability, your list post must have numbered list points, first of all. Then it needs to have a consistent structure, right? With headings and paragraphs and all that. Then it needs to have consistent formatting. So you need to use the same fonts and the same sizes for the headings and the paragraphs. And last but not least, it needs to have consistent visual style. So if you've included an image on one of the points, then you must include another image on the next point as well. An image or a graphic or something similar. Next up, subsections for long lists. Now, if you're going to have a long list, it will turn into something that we call a skyscraper post. And this is great for attracting attention and backlinks, but you need to be careful with your presentation. For example, CoSchedule's blog is now turning into something like a collection of skyscrapers. And for example, this post not only has subsections, but also table of contents. So if you're going to have a post that has more than 20 points, make sure to include not only a table of contents, but also subsections as well. Moving forward, we get to the controversial point of the list, right? It is very important to take a topic and be able to provide a different angle to it, a surprising, a controversial angle. This will really get people interested in your post, because if you have just pretty much the same content as the next list post on the topic, then how will your list post be any different from the other one? So there's two ways you can go with this. You can either add a completely new point to your list, right? You can do some extra research and come up with a new point, or you can take an existing point and twist it around, right? This will help you provide that controversial angle to one of your points. For example, let's say that you're writing an article about dieting and all of the other list posts seem to have written about how to give up chocolate if you want to lose weight. What if you said that you have to eat chocolate specifically to lose weight? This will be a completely controversial point to your list. Now, of course, I have no idea if this will work, but you get the idea, right? You need to provide a completely different and controversial perspective to your list in order to keep your visitors interested in your post. Last but not least, you can give your readers an invitation to contribute, and you can ask for feedback, because after all, we might not have all of the answers written inside a list post, right? And this is a great way to engage with your visitors as well. And you can even ask them what they would add to your list post. Now, I'm asking you, what do you think about list posts? And what was your experience like with them so far, both as a writer or as a reader? Don't forget to leave a comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.